Quran in Surah Al-Zukhruf tells us about Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the Prophet Jesus. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإنه لعين لام ميم عين لام ميم, which can be read as ilm, which is knowledge, or alam, which means sign. Both readings are correct. وَإِنَّهُ لَعِلْمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ or وَإِنَّهُ لَعَلَمٌ لِلسَّاعَةِ. Surely he, Jesus alayhi salam, his return is the sign of all signs of the last age. This is the key to the subject of the last age. The Quran tells us 5 things about that defining moment when they attempted to crucify. Number 1, the Quran says they did not kill him. Number 2, the Quran says they did not crucify him. What is crucifixion? If you put someone on the cross or you nail him on a date palm, and when he gives up the ghost, you think he is dead, you take him down, his body, and when you take him down, he picks up his briefcase and he walks away. Has he been crucified? Has he been crucified? No, no, no. Come back. Go back up. You're not as yet crucified. You are crucified when you die. When you experience something called maut. So number 1, they did not kill him. Number 2, they did not crucify him. Number 3, Allah took. Took what? Took what? Wafat. When someone dies, we have to perform Salatul Janazah. And in the Salatul Janazah, there is a dua in which this word is located, Wafat. Allahumma man ahyaytahu minna fahyi ala al-Islam. وَمَنْ تَوَفَّيْتَهُ مِنَّا فَتَوَفَّهُ عَلَى الْإِيمَانِ. It is taking the soul. Taking the soul. So Allah took his soul. That's the honest answer. And then number 4. Allah made it appear unto them that he was crucified. But there's only one way that could happen. Is it possible for Allah to take the soul and then send it back? Is that possible? Yes. They thought he was dead. The family. So they made the arrangements for the funeral. And after the body was put down in the grave, and the grave was filled up, Allah returns the soul. Is it possible? And when you wake up, the place is very dark. What happened? When I went to sleep, it wasn't dark. So you call out to your wife, but nobody answers. So you try to get up, but space is very small. You're getting worried now. What is this? And you begin to feel your clothing, but this is not the clothes in which I went to sleep. And then you realize you in your grave. But punishment. So the question is it possible for Allah to take the soul? So they think you are dead. And then Allah returns the soul, so you didn't die. Yes, the answer is yes. And it is to be found in Surah Al-Zumar of the Quran. Listen to the Quran. Allah yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawtiha. Allah takes the souls when it is a time of maut or death. وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ. And those who do not die while they are awake, Allah takes their souls while they are asleep. فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ. Allah then keeps those souls for whom maut or death is written. وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى. And the rest Allah sends them back for a prescribed period of time. So yes, the answer is yes. Allah can take his soul and people think he is dead. And Allah can then return the soul. No, he did not die. This happens in sleep. So they took his body down because they thought he was dead. Our sources don't tell us anything more, but the Christian sources say they put the body in a cave and they sealed the cave. Allah then returned the soul to the body, so he didn't die. Like the fellow who they buried, thinking he was dead. But when Allah returned the soul, no, he didn't die, but he's in his grave. And they forgot to put a cell phone when they buried him. So he's calling out, nobody's answering. No. Allah is punishing you. Now you will die. This is punishment. And then the Quran tells us, Allah made it appear unto them that he was crucified. So this is what happened. Allah took the soul, they thought he was crucified. Allah returned the soul, he was not crucified. So he did not experience maut or death. And then the Quran says, number 5, Allah raised him. Raised him where? Not to heaven. Allah raised him to the samawat of the parallel universes. This is where Nabi Muhammad went in the Mi'raj. So these are the 5 things that the Quran tells us about that event. Since he did not die, he did not experience maut. And Allah says in the Quran, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul must taste maut, except, including Nabi Isa alayhi salam. The implication is that he has to return. This is the Quran, this is the Quran, this is the Quran. He has to return, and he has to experience maut, or death. The Quran says, مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ. From this earth, the dust, did we create you. وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ. And into it will we return you. Even if they cremated you, the dust will still return. وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. And from this we will extract you one more time. So this includes Nabi Isa alayhi salam. So one day you will have to return. And the return of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, is the crowning event of Akhir al-Zaman. It is the most important event in history which still remains to occur.